Welcome back to the online classes of physics. This is your Naima Miss taking your lesson motion of ninth class. So let us go with the types of motions. So it's clear that the types of motions, there are two types of motions, that is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Okay, there are two types of motions, uniform and non-uniform motion. So first we will know what is uniform motion. Uniform motion. What is uniform motion? Uniform motion is nothing but when a body or an object travels equal distance in equal time interval is called as uniform motion. Whenever a body travels equal distance in equal time of interval, then it is called as uniform motion. Yes, it's clear. When a body travels equal distance in equal time interval. Okay, so that means if a body is traveling, for example, we will take a truck. Okay, a truck is moving. Okay, a truck is moving. That is from, this is the zero time interval. This is the zero time interval at 9 o'clock. It is at zero distance from here. At 10 a.m. morning 10 it is moving at 100 kilometers. Okay, and after that at 11 it is moving at 200 kilometers. Okay, so that means the distance traveled from 9 to 10 is 100 kilometers. Then after that again from 10 to 11 it is 100 kilometers. It means that it is traveling, like in 1 hour it is traveling 100 kilometers. Here also in 1 hour it is traveling 100 kilometers. That means the truck is moving at equal time interval. Okay, so that means if you represent this on the graph, you will have like on x-axis you have time. You will take it as 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and here you will take the speed. Okay, you will take the speed, that is 0, 100, 200, 300 and so on. So at 9 it's at 100, at 10 it is at 200, at 11 it is at 300. So like that this will be a straight line. So when you are getting a straight line, it means that it is a vector, isn't it? It is a vector. That means the exact time it is taking, like in 1 hour it is traveling 100 kilometers. Okay, so that means it is a uniform motion. It is moving at equal distance in equal time. When a body travels equal distance in equal time of interval, then it is called as the uniform motion. I hope it is clear. Yes, children. So let us go with a non-uniform motion. So what is non-uniform motion? Non-uniform motion is exactly opposite. So when a body is traveling unequal distance in a given time span. Okay, when a body is traveling unequal distance in a time span, given time interval. Okay, that means a body, suppose we are taking the same truck and it is starting at 9, it is at 0 distance. Okay, and after that it is moving at 10, you can see it is at 70 kilometers. Okay, on after that at 11 it is at 200 kilometers. Okay, suppose it. So that means the distance traveled is unequal. Okay, here you can see the distance is 70 kilometers. That means the next 1 hour also it should be 70 kilometers. But here you can see that it is not 70 kilometers. Why? Because it is traveling at unequal distance. Yes, so that means the difference you can see here it is 70 kilometers and here you can see the difference is, what it is, the difference is 130 kilometers, isn't it? It is a little bit approximately nearer to double distance, isn't it? So that means the lorry is traveling at some unequal distance in a given interval of time. So graph, similarly here also it is like, this will be your x-axis, this is your y-axis. Okay, so this will be taken time and this is your speed at which it is traveling. So here 10, 11. Okay, then the speed you can take as, here you may get a graph like this, like 70, so it will be here somewhere, and 10 you will have somewhere here, then again it may decrease somewhere. So you may get a graph like this, or you may get a graph like this, or you may get sometimes a graph like this also. Okay, but not straight line. It will not get a straight line. That means a uniform body can always travel in a straight line. You'll get a graph always. If you're getting a graph with a straight line, that means it is a uniform body, okay, motion. But if you get a graph other than straight line, that is like this, or you have like this or something like this, then that means it is a non-uniform motion. Okay, so next we will go with the example. See, you have like we'll go with the observing the motion of a ball on an inclined plane. So here what we are going to do, we are just going to take a ball. Okay, we are just going to take, see, this is one inclined position. Okay, we are keeping an inclined position here. We are taking one ball and we start moving the ball. So, we just place a ball and ball starts moving. Okay, and it will reach here. Okay, at some here time is equal to 0 seconds. Here it will reach time is equal to 1 second. Here it will reach time is equal to 2 seconds. So take a ball and release it from the top of an inclined plane. The position of a ball at various times is given. Yes, so here what we can say, time t is equal to 0 seconds, time t1 is equal to 1 second, time t2 is equal to 2 seconds, isn't it? So on the close observation, we find that the balls move down the inclined plane. Its speed increases gradually and the direction of motion remains same. So you can see that the ball when it starts moving, the speed increases. It will fall down like this, isn't it? Because it is the inclined. Suppose it would be a straight plane, then the ball would slowly move, or sometimes it may stop also. But when here it is the inclined plane, so ball will immediately move like this, isn't it? So the speed increases, but the inclined that plane will, that is the motion, direction of motion will remain constant. So that means the speed will increase and the direction of motion, so direction will not change. The ball will go in same direction, but the speed only will be increasing here. That means the speed increases, but direction remains constant. Okay, direction remains constant. Yes. So with this we observe that the speed changes. So same thing what we will do, we'll just take again we will take it and we will just start to pushing the ball from down to up. So first we have done position was this, right? Now what we will do, we'll just push the ball from down to up. So what you'll see, the speed changes. Okay, the speed what it was traveling changes, but the direction will be same. Okay, the speed either decreases or increases, but here you can see the speed decreases, but the direction will be constant. For example, if we take also like suppose we are climbing the step. Okay, that means you are going from down to up, isn't it? If you are climbing the step, it's like you are climbing, you are going in this upward direction, isn't it? You're going in upward direction. That means your speed will be little less, but the direction where you are going is constant. Suppose you are coming down of the stairs. Okay, that means your speed increases, isn't it? Your speed increases, but the direction is constant. You are coming in the same direction. Suppose this is the slant inclined position plane, and this one is also inclined plane only. So that means the direction is constant, but the speed matters. Okay, there is a change in the speed, isn't it? So that means while you are going up, the speed decreases. While you are coming down, the speed increases. Okay, is it clear till here? In next point where we can see that in a circular path. Okay, here we have seen inclined path. We will see at motion at circular path plane. Okay, we will see at circular plane. So what will be in circular plane? Suppose you are having a stone or object. You have tied this to the rope, okay, or thread. You are just rotating it like this in a circular motion. You are rotating it like this, like with a speed. Okay, you can see that the speed is same. You can see that speed is same. You are just rotating like this and the speed is same, but the direction is changing. Sometimes the direction will be like this, sometime like this, sometime like this, sometime like this. Okay, so you see that in first we have seen that direction is constant. Here we see that the speed is constant. Okay, speed is constant, but velocity, that is the direction, changes. Okay, direction changes. Now we will see the direction of object thrown in the air. Suppose you are throwing a ball like this. Okay, so where it is going, see, it will go like this, then it will come back like this on the ground, isn't it? It will come back like this on the ground, isn't it? So here you see, here the speed is till here it is high, again from here it is decreasing, it is, isn't it? The speed is decreasing, and even you see the direction also is decreasing. First the direction was upwards, okay, first the direction was up, then it changed to down. So in this case we see that the speed and direction, that is the velocity, both changes, isn't it? Both changes. So here we have seen the motion, we have seen the motion and decline position, we have seen in circular, and we have seen in the object thrown on the into the air. Okay, so here in the inclined position we have seen that the speed increases but the direction remains constant. In the circular we have seen that speed remains constant but the direction changes, whereas in the ball object thrown into the air we see that the speed and direction both changes. Okay, so our next topic is acceleration. See, we experience acceleration many times in our day-to-day life. For example, if we are traveling in a bus, or we are traveling in a car, or we are going on to a bike or whatever it is. So when the driver passes the accelerator, presses the accelerator, the passenger sitting in the bus experience acceleration. That is, our body press against the seat towards the due to the acceleration. Okay, suppose we are driving a car, then let us increase the speed. Okay, let us increase the speed from 30 kilometers to 30 kilometers per hour to 35 kilometers per hour. Okay, in 1 second we are changing this in 1 second. Then again immediately after 1 second you are going from 35 to 40 kilometers per second. That means this rate of change in speed, or you can say velocity of an object, is called as acceleration. The rate of change of an object with respect to time is called as acceleration. Okay, that means there is some change. See here, the 5 kilometers immediately you have increased in 1 second. Okay, in another 1 second you have increased again 5 kilometers in another 5 seconds. That means there is a rate of change in velocity, that is, a velocity is increasing, there is a change increasing or decreasing. That means there is a change in velocity with respect to time. So that is nothing but it is called as acceleration. The rate of change of velocity of an object is called as acceleration. Acceleration is a uniform. Okay, when changes of velocity occurs in equal to interval of time, that means it is uniform. So for here you can see 30 kilometers to 35, it is 5 kilometers difference, isn't it, in 1 second. Then again in another 1 second, again 5 kilometers. That means this is uniform, right? So this is nothing but a uniform motion. Okay, the term acceleration not only applies to increasing velocity, but it also applies to decreasing velocity. Okay, so the decreasing velocity is called as deceleration. Okay, deceleration. For example, we apply brakes to the car in motion. Its velocity decreases continuously. We call this as deceleration. We can observe the deceleration of stone thrown up vertically into the air. Similarly, we can experience deceleration when a moving trains come back to the rest. That is nothing but when you just hold a brake, there is a decrease in the speed of the bike or car or bus, whatever it is, right? So there is a decrease. That decrease is called as deceleration. Okay, because there is a negative deceleration. Okay, so how you will represent this? It's nothing but acceleration is denoted by a, small a, which is equal to v, that is final velocity minus initial velocity by time. Okay, acceleration a is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity by time. So it may be, as I said, it may be a negative or positive, and it is a vector quantity. Okay, its SI units, you can take it as its SI units can be given by v minus u, that means you have this as meter per second, and then by time is again given in seconds. So this is nothing but meter by second into second, which is equal to meters per second square. So its SI units are meters per second square, isn't it? So if it is a positive acceleration, how you will come to know, and how, if it is a negative acceleration, how you will come to know, we will go with an example. Okay. Suppose you have a positive acceleration. For that, we will take initial velocity is equal to 20 meters per second, and we will have final velocity is equal to 50 meters per second, and time will be taken as 5 seconds. Okay, we'll take as 5 seconds. Now we will substitute in the equation. A is equal to v minus u by t. So here we are getting, what is the value of v? 50 minus u 20 by time 5. Okay, so 30 by 5. So you will get here 5 ones are 5, 5 6 are 30, which is equal to 6 meters per second square. Okay, this will be the positive because you got a positive value here. Similarly, if you are writing the negative, how you will get negative acceleration? That means, for example, we will take initial velocity is equal to 100 meters per second, and final velocity is equal to 60 meters per second, and the time taken in that is 4 seconds. Okay, so now we will substitute in the equation v minus u by t, which is equal to 100, this is 60 minus 100 by 4. That means you are getting 60 minus 100 means minus value, minus 40 by 4. Isn't it? Minus 40 by 4. What you will get the answer here then, which is equal to 4 ones are 4, 4 tens are 40. So minus 10 meters per second square. That means you are having here minus value. Here you got positive value, isn't it? You got here positive value. That means this is positive acceleration, and this is your negative value. That's why it is negative acceleration. So it is very easy. It doesn't matter. But now you get it out whether acceleration you have positive and negative. Sometimes whether it will be 0. Yes, if initial and final velocities are at equal, then their acceleration can also be 0. Okay, fine, it's clear. Now next topic we'll go with equation of uniform accelerated motion. So next topic is equations of uniform accelerated motion. So consider one motion of object along straight line with a constant acceleration. So if we consider a object, if we consider a vehicle which is moving in continuous constant acceleration on a straight line, that means we will write it formula as acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time, isn't it? Change in velocity by time. So that is, change in velocity is given by delta v. So A is equal to delta v by delta t, which is constant. Why it is constant? Because it is moving in with constant acceleration, isn't it? It's moving with constant acceleration. It's moving with constant acceleration. Let u be the speed. So we will take it as u is equal to speed. Okay, and then at time t is equal to 0, and v be the velocity at time t. So v is the velocity at time t. Okay, here t is equal to 0. Then and s be the displacement. S be the displacement covered by the body during the time t. S be the displacement and time be the t. Okay, so from this definition of acceleration we get A is equal to we have A is equal to V minus U by T. We know this, right? So what we'll do, we'll just AT is equal to, we'll take this AT here. So here you have AT, so we'll take this T here and we will get AT is equal to U minus V minus U. Now we'll just take this U also to the right side and we'll write it as U plus AT is equal to V. Let us assume this as first equation. Now we already know that average velocity is equal to V plus U by 2. But we know that average velocity is equal to displacement by time. Okay, displacement by time. Isn't it? So what we'll do, we'll just substitute this. That is this V plus U by 2 is equal to displacement by time. Okay, displacement by time. We will take this as second equation. Now from here onwards, we manipulate the equation 1 and 2. So put V is equal to U plus AT in the equation. Wherever you have V, put U plus AT. So we will substitute V is equal to U plus AT. U plus AT plus U by 2 is equal to S by T. Okay, S by T. So what you will get now? You will get as UT, you will get as 2U plus AT by 2 is equal to S by T. Okay, so this 2 gets cancelled. We'll just multiply it and we'll get UT plus half AT square is equal to S. Okay, just we'll take this T also here and we will multiply. That means UT plus half AT squared is equal to S. So this we will consider as third equation. So from equation V is equal to U plus AT, that is from equation V is equal to U plus AT, we get T is equal to V minus U by A. So we'll take the value of T. Okay, from the equation V is equal to U plus AT, we can write as T is equal to V minus U by A. So we'll substitute the value of T in this equation and then see. Then after substituting the value, we will get V plus U by 2 into V minus U by A is equal to S, isn't it? Is equal to S. Then V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. That is V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. We will take this 2A is equal to here and then V into V square plus into minus minus U into U square, isn't it? So then the equation of uniform accelerated motions, so we can consider these 4. Okay, what are this equation is fourth equation. Okay, so here we come to know that U plus AT is equal to V, then V plus T, U by T is equal to ST, which will give you U plus T plus half AT square is equal to S. Then V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Okay, so keep always remember that the speed of an object increases, the direction of the velocity and acceleration are one and the same. Okay, if the speed of an object decreases, then the direction of velocity and acceleration comes in the opposite direction. In such cases, at certain instant, the speed becomes zero. If there exists an acceleration of a body at any point where speed decrease becomes zero for an instant, then the body returns in the direction of acceleration and moves continuously, like in case of stone thrown vertically up into the air. You all just have to remember the following points when we are using the following equations. These three equations. Choose the origin on a straight line. The quantities measured to the right are taken as positive and these measured to the left are taken as negative. See, you have to take one origin wherever the straight line is there, whatever it is, you have to take one origin, one point you have to select, and then you have to take whichever is going into right, it is considered as positive, whichever is going into left, it is considered as negative. Expressing displacement with proper sign is very important. Displacement is positive while measured along the positive direction, and displacement is negative when measured along the direction of the negative direction. Okay, for example, we'll just go with an activity to find the acceleration and velocity of object moving on an inclined track. Okay, for this activity we need some books. Okay, we need some books, and we need marbles, and we need digital clock, and we need long plastic tube and steel plate. So what we are going to do, we're just going to set the apparatus now in such a way that you are keeping the books just to get a height, so that one inclined position you can maintain. On this inclined position, you just place a plastic tube which you are cutting into half. Okay, just you take the tube like this and just cut it into a half, so that a curve is made. Okay, so just place it in an inclined position and take one marble. Just put a plate here at the end of the glass this tube, plastic tube. You just keep a plate. Okay, then take the marbles which fit in this half tube. Take that marble and just place the marble at some position. As I said, you have to take a position. Okay, you have to take an or positive the you have to take a fixed origin. Okay, so now what you'll do, you'll take a position somewhere here. You just keep the marble here and allow it to move in a speed. So you can see that it when you take a digital clock, just start the time when you are when it is starting to move, when it is in motion, and then when it reaches you, there is a sound in the plate, just stop the watch. Okay, just stop the watch. Okay, just stop the watch. Then do this activity 2 to 3 times. Again you place at the same origin and leave it. Again you measure the time. Again you place at the same origin and again measure the time. Okay, after this you will notice that you will take some t1, t2, t3. Okay, at this you will see that the speed is again same. Okay, again the speed is same. So that means s1, s2, s3 are same. So that means this is a uniform motion. Okay, you can observe that wherever the exact origin wherever you have taken, the marble is placed there, and you can see that it is moving at the exact speed. It is taking exact in the given exact time, it is reaching the exact plate. Okay, that means it is taking equal time for equal distance, and the direction also is same. Okay, with this we complete the motion lesson. So I hope it is very clear. If it is not clear, please go back to the lesson, revise it. Till then, take care. Bye.